I want to tell you the best news or the good news for each of the candidates, because in a 50-50 race, I don't want anyone to be surprised when a particular result happens. We're not going to play the Sooks game of the Hillary Clinton world. I want you to know what is happening. So let's start with Donald Trump. He has been doing rallies every couple of hours. He has been moving from state to state to state. The energy this guy has is phenomenal to see. And don't forget the stakes for him. He will be president of the United States potentially by the end of the week, or he's on a path to going to prison. He does not look like a guy who is playing that sort of bet at a casino. Instead, he looks like a man who thinks he's playing with the bank's money when it comes to votes, and he thinks he's on his way back to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. But the best news for him today was a story you probably haven't heard about, and it was a story that comes from Minnesota. Now, as you know, we're keeping particular focus on the blue wall states. Now, the blue wall states are always Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, but just next to that is Minnesota. Both Minnesota and the other states have got significant Islamic populations. And the best news for Trump was that yesterday Islamic leaders came out and said, fight, fight, fight. They're all in on Trump.
Some of the key issues of the community are the global wars, and we're for peace. Economic issues, family values and education are some of the critical issues that this community cares. On top of that, this community cares about the economic issues and the inflation. With all these and a number of other issues, the community came together and fully is standing behind President Donald J. Trump. Yes.
The best news for Kamala Harris is, just like Donald Trump, she is crisscrossing the country, rally after rally after rally, celebrity after celebrity after celebrity. Whether that's going to work this time when it didn't in 2016, we'll all find out together. But the best news for her is an earthquake in political news circles. This will dominate the news amongst those who talk about politics, and it is a poll from a state that we did not consider to be a swing state or one that's going to be changing. It's the state of Iowa. Now, Iowa is very small. As you know, to become the president, you have to win the nomination first, and that means you have to start the primary process in Iowa. The lady who does this poll for the Des Moines Register, you could almost bet your house on her. She was the pollster who put out just before the 2016 election the canary in the coal mine that Trump was going to do well in that part of the US. Well, as you can see, Harris has now flipped and is in the lead right now in Iowa. If that happens, there's a whole bunch of scenarios that I'll explain to you a little bit later, but that is a sign that something is happening. Inside that poll, it shows that, of course, more women voting than men, but it also shows that Harris is leading with people over the age of 65. Now, this is really interesting because, of course, the Trump campaign has been all over the bro podcasts and really trying to get to people sort of basically between sort of 25 and 55. But if 65-year-olds, who generally might be tuning into cable news, the past week has been, well, nothing but dunking from the media, and unsurprisingly, as they're trying to get the result that they want. The poll, of course, shows 47-44 in favour of Kamala Harris. And as I say, if that happens, this is what's going to happen with the electoral map. As you can see, Trump won the state, and he won it just 4 years ago. So the idea that Harris in the closing days may well be flipping a state that Trump is relying upon to get himself to 270 votes, well, that's why they are going to be talking about it uphill, down dale, and you will hear the echoes across Australian media in the next 24 hours.